Okay. Well, thank you all for doing this interview. I loved the film. So my first question is for Matt, Terry, and Pearce. How did you all come across this project? As I know most of you have worked on together on zombies, and what drew you to the script and characters?
Yeah,
Boy, who wants to feel that one?
I can
Go
take a
for it,
stab.
Tara.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
take us home, Terry.
I feel like we probably all kind of have a similar experience, but we're all we know Pamela Fisher, the grandmother of everyone, and so I was rep by Pam at our agency, and Isabella was as well, and so honestly, Pam just like sent me the script. I had just gone home to visit my family, so it was like a very quick like, oh, this sounds cool, and Pam was just like, Isabella's great, so I read it, and it was very simple. I was just like, oh, this sounds like really nice. I knew Pearce and Matt were doing it, and I love them obviously, so I was just like, this seems like a fun little project to do. And yeah, I don't know. I think what Isabella and her mom Elizabeth do are so great, like the way that they work together. So I just thought it was cool to have a chance to work with them. Yeah.
Thinking back, actually known Isabella just personally for like a long time. It's a little trippy to think about, like many years.
Yeah, well,
And so
we're getting old, Pearce. This is what's happening.
hey, ha ha ha. Yeah. You watch it. No, well, yeah, it is kind of true. And so I think obviously Pam, like Terry said, has been a part of all of our teams for a very long time. So we trust her pretty much, blindly. But when that's a good thing, seriously. But also just knowing Isabella for many years. Yeah, I mean, frankly, it was an honor just to do it with your friends, just do a fun project with friends that you trust.
Yeah. I third both of those. It is the exact same thing for me. I've also known Isabella for a while. I met her a long time ago on one of her music video shoots, and we had so much fun with that. And whenever this opportunity came across, I was like, yes, I get to finally work with Isabella again. And Isabella and her mom are both genius, and I love them both tremendously. So I will run and jump at any opportunity to work with the both of them.
I'm just grinning. I've basically just been complimented.
And she's
grinning.
Are you kidding me?
I don't, obviously, I know I sent you all of the script and I spoke to you about it individually in certain ways, but I don't know those stories, so it's nice to hear.
Yeah.
So you kind of answered my second question, that you all have great chemistry together. So I was wondering, did you hang out before or while filming?
Well, I know, like they've said, we all, they know each other from before, and then I met Terry for the first time doing Karma, and then I knew Matt and Pearce, but we definitely all hung out on set and during a lot. I mean, we'd all go and grab dinners because we were in so much together, and we were always working, so we would have a lot of fun after filming and on set too. I mean, I think we all had a blast being together. Like they said, it's just about having fun with your friends.
Yeah, I love the chemistry between you all. It felt like real life friends, and I guess it was real life friends. Mm-hmm. And did any of you get to do improvisation?
I mean, I know, Isabella, there was a time early in filming where I was like, hey, so like, how stuck to the script are you because for me, my character Niles loved to joke around and mess around with everyone. So to me, it felt like a really fun opportunity to be able to kind of improvise if Isabella was open to that. And obviously I was going to let her guide me on that because it is her baby. So, but she was so gracious and so lovely to be like, yeah, if you ever feel anything in the moment, just freaking run at it. And so I did that, and it was so fun. And I love improvisation. It just feels like such a freeing way to do any scene, because being stuck to any one specific thing, sometimes it's easy to get stuck in a scene, and then I just love improvising. But
dude, Matt, what was it that you said? It was the scene where we were all sitting on the bleachers. And you laughed. Bro, that was one of the funniest things I've ever heard on a set in my life. What was it though?
It was 150 degrees outside. Yeah. What were we? Oh, it was something about.
Yeah, it was like 100. It was like 100 plus degrees outside, and I was like, I like have to leave this scene for whatever reason.
No, because
And,
you wanted to go like hang out with a girl, and
I
everybody was
wanted
like
to go hang out
ribbing
with-
you.
Yeah, I wanted to go hang out with her, and we were gonna, I guess, meet at a coffee shop. And I was like, boy, I'm actually just so parched. I'm gonna get a coffee or something like that. Everyone's like, it's 110 degrees. Why are you getting a hot coffee? I don't remember the exact words. That
So we had so much.
I don't know, but it was so ridiculous that it killed
Yeah.
everyone. They ruined the take because it was so funny.
Definitely, I'm gonna have to put together a blooper reel because there are some great moments of us just having hysterics. I mean, there's one, I think, Terry, of you and I on the hospital set, and you're in the wheelchair, and for some reason I don't know what we were laughing at, but we were just having hysterics, and it got caught on camera.
Right for the scene, like me half dying but still laughing. Yeah, no, it was ruined.
We were trying to work out. We're like, hang on, how conscious are you in this moment?
Yeah.
And then doing stuff in the cabin with all of us in there, and there's some great moments.
Yeah.
I mean, and I appreciate what Matt was saying about the writing, but I think the beauty of me being an actor and writing it is that I understand how, look, as long as the story's being told, each person has their own voice, and I'm not, yes, writers are able to write lots of different voices, and that's great, but I feel like when you bring actors into a role, it gives you the ability to have them put their voice into it too, because I can't make the voice of Matt, Pearce, and Terry. That's not a skill I have, and so bringing them all into the characters for me was really being able to trust them with their voices and how they perceived the characters, because at the end of the day, that's their voices are what makes the characters special and unique. So I was really grateful that y'all wanted to do that.
Well, fingers crossed we get to see the blooper reel. And were there any deleted scenes from filming you could share?
Ooh. This is testing my knowledge of remembering the editing process. I don't think we deleted any scenes. I mean, one thing I try and do when I'm writing and producing is making sure that whatever we're filming ends up on the screen, because otherwise it's spending money on things that end up on the cutting room floor. So I don't think we cut any scenes. I think maybe there were like moments at the beginnings and ends of scenes that got clipped just as you work out timings. But no, I don't think there were any deleted scenes. Although we could almost film some now and be like, here were some deleted scenes.
And there are a few scenes where some of you fight or get hurt. Did you get to do your own stunts?
Yes, it was a privilege. If Pearce gave it his all, yes.
No, bro, listen, hold on. So it actually ended up looking great, and Terry really sold it. But I'll tell you, that first take that we did of me pushing him on the ground, yikes! It looks so bad. And
when you're
totally
doing it, it doesn't feel.
I did not sell it at all. I was kind of just like, and Terry, it didn't track at all.
Did anyone get hurt?
Unfortunate. Oh, and then I had to slap Matt, I guess, right? It looks pretty real.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
there was a couple takes where you actually got contact, right? I'm pretty sure.
It might have been, yeah.
I think so. I was not injured. There was no injuries that happened, luckily.
Don't tell me this. I'm the producer.
There was no. No. Pearce and I know each other well enough that we can hit each other every now and then if we need.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think that's also going back to chemistry. I think that's what sold it, because out of the three of you, I knew two of you, but then also the fact that you all knew each other. I mean, I think when you have a group of friends, in order to sell it, yes, we act, that's what we do, but there's only so far you can push it. But when you have inside jokes in your real life, and then you have the time to throw in some improv lines, or you're just like beginning or end of a take, it just comes across because you all know each other. And I'm very grateful for that. And believe it or not, it was actually a coincidence. I didn't go into it going, I'm going to put these three people in it because they all know each other. It just happened to work out that I liked you all and you were all great. And then, of course, you'd done zombies together. So I think it worked out.
And throughout this film, there's a sort of love triangle. So I was wondering if you could share how you found this aspect of the story.
I'll let you all talk about that. I wrote it, so.
I
Take it away.
know I'm making noises like I had something to say, but I got nervous. Listen, Max, he's a good boy. All right, he's a good man, and he just didn't execute anything correctly.
Quite literally
No
nothing.
hints were taken by him. Honestly, we shot a scene that's in the movie, and it's where oh, that was a cut shot. Oh, Isabella, that's a cut shot. Okay,
Oh,
so
what is it?
in the
Tell me.
movie, when I go to your house for might be the first time, and I sit down on your couch and I'm like, hey, we're going out tonight. You have no choice. There was a shot that we did through the window of me like looking at my hair. That was cut.
Yeah.
How about that one?
That made it quite far into the edit though. That was one of the last things to go. You're right.
Yeah. Anyway, the scene is that is still there. I go over to her house and I trying to woo her, as the children would say, as the youth of today would say, and I don't do a very good job at paying attention to her very obvious and basically force her to hang out with me. She ends up saying she has other plans, and because of Mac's mental status, he's not too stable because of what's going on in his life. He kind of flies off the handle a little bit and ruins what. And you say love triangle, but there almost like wasn't actually any. It was only in Max's mind that there was. Yeah. And so he just kind of goes in there and does some crazy stuff, which really shouldn't have happened at all because none of it existed, and he made it all up. So there you go.
It's amazing what the mind can do.
Yes.
Yep, it sure is.
He was Delulu. He was Delulu, and you know,
youth of today would also say that.
Yes, he did not have Riz, as they would say, and he was also Delulu. Yes,
he had negative Riz.
Negative Riz. I feel like the Riz could have worked on someone else who was into it, but yeah, it was unfortunate. But
yeah, no. Val had Riz. You had Riz, Terry. Val had Riz.
Val was written in a way that it's sure, yes, Riz. I saw that, but I liked it because it was more like subtle. It was just like going with the natural connection that was there, you know, instead of trying to like put it on. It was just like
to be innocent. So I'm glad it came across that way.
Yeah, exactly. It was more just about like the gentle, natural connection and connecting over like life stories and you know that sort of thing, instead of being like, hey, like you know. So. Yeah, that I will say the love triangle was probably in Max's head, but I see what you're saying, Daniel. I see what you're asking about.
Yeah.
And if you're comfortable sharing, how do you, Isabella and Terry, prepare for the more romantic scenes when filming?
Well, this was fun because my mum directing was our intimacy coordinator.
Yeah.
Anyone that doesn't know me would assume that that's very weird, and I'm not saying it wasn't weird, but because my mum and I are very close and we work together all the time, it wasn't as weird as it might have been for somebody else. I think I actually felt more comfortable because it was her. I knew she was looking out for me, and I knew she was going to make it look as good as it needed to look. But I think for Terry and I mean, we FaceTimed a bunch beforehand, working out like, okay, truth to the characters, what would be the next step, how far would this go, what would they do, what's the timing of it. So we worked on that beforehand. But Terry, what?
No, yeah, I second that. And also, I mean, you know, Elizabeth is not my mom, but I also felt very comfortable. I think she just creates a really, really like good, safe, encouraging space for it. And then obviously with Isabella, like just talking about it, I think the communication was very clear from the start. So we were very comfortable just being like, hey, what are your personal boundaries as a human, you know, and then also what does it look like for the actor, right? So I thought that was really nice. And obviously it was like a very safe set experience because Elizabeth made sure that it was only like the very necessary people. And yeah, I think she's just so professional, you know, so it's just very like I think we're all lucky to be very professional and around professionals. So it just felt very like natural. Yeah.
It's good that you're all quite close together, cast and crew. And also, what was your reaction like to the killer Trist finding out when reading the script?
I know what my reaction was. I wrote it.
Very well. Can you surprise yourself?
I did.
I was going to say, what was your reaction with writing it?
I think I read it in Colorado. Like I was at my home in Colorado, and I was reading with my dad, And anybody who's ever met my dad, I don't think any of you actually haven't met my father. Matt, have you met my dad? Did you meet my dad when he came out? No. Anyway, my dad is he's a funny fella, and I remember I was sitting up on the couch reading it, and he was kind of like looking over my shoulder, you know, he was reading it as well, and then he got like really into it. You know how dads do that thing, like where they're like, oh, no, I don't want to do it, and then they just end up, you know, not leaving the room. So but so like the most you can ever get out of him is oh wow, and that's what he did. He was like, that's what he was like, oh wow. And well, he had his reaction out before I did, but I just thought that was a funny story.
I'll take that as a huge compliment if that's what I can get.
Oh, you should. Absolutely, you should, because I usually doesn't speak.
Make him speak, Isabella.
I win. I'm winning. That's it. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I feel like similar experience for me. I mean, I was, you know, like I was literally traveling with my family at the time, and my parents, unfortunately, they you know, Chinese immigrants, I don't think they've really ever read a script before, and I don't think that they were hovering in that way. But I think it was cool because I got to like read the script while juxtaposing with my family, and it was like I was distracted because I was like, wait, oh, what? And then hi to also family. So it was, I think it was like it built the tension very well, and kind of like the element of surprise weaved in really well. And it was a nice addition to my trip home, because that's not what I was expecting, you know. But I thought it was really well written in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a similar experience. However, not with family. I was by myself on my couch, and yeah, it was the same thing. I always appreciate a good twist, because there's nothing that I enjoy more in a movie than my jaw dropping. So I always enjoy a good twist, and you know, like I said, throughout reading the movie, I just was impressed by, you know, Isabella's storytelling and the way she was able to just create the story in general. And so there was that part of me that was like jaw drop, but then I was like, yeah, you as you should, Isabella, as you should, go for it.
I appreciate that, and I think it helps having Tony being a villain, because that's what he's known for. But no, I enjoyed that. It was funny. There were a couple of variations of the script before it got to that. I mean, a couple of page one rewrites as well. And I think for me, making Jack the villain just made it that much closer to my character Charley, and how it was closer to her then, because she was like, oh, this isn't just someone who's done this. This is someone who supposedly is my family, and who supposedly cares about me, and then has done this stuff. So for me, writing it, I wasn't expecting it to come out until I did the newer version, which is the one that we filmed. And I was like, you know what? This makes so much sense. And placing who it was in relation to Charley just made it more personal to her.
Yeah, even I was shocked at the twist, and I did not see it coming. So
that means I did my job.
Did any of you have a favorite outfit from filming, and did you get input into your outfits?
I think we definitely had input for sure. I think, because I know for me, I think I even ended up using a lot of my clothes. Mm-hmm. And I remember there was this one in the scenes where we're in the cabin. I had just bought this new hat. There was this new hat that quite literally, like the day before we shot that stuff, I bought this hat. And I remember walking in, and my hair just wasn't quite doing what I wanted it to do that day. So I went up to wardrobe and I was like, hey guys, so I bought this hat yesterday. What are the chances I could wear this hat? And they were like, oh, we think it'll cover your face. Like, it won't be good for camera and lighting. And I was like, I could wear it backwards. And they were like, go talk to Isabella. So I went, or I think they were like, go talk to Elizabeth. So I think I went to your mom and I was like, what are your thoughts on if I wear the hat backwards? She was like, I think it's perfect. I think it's perfect for Niles. And I was like, yes. So I would go to say that was my favorite, just because it was a brand new hat that I was excited to wear. So my first time ever wearing it was in the movie. And now it's a great hat.
I think it looked great too, because there are some moments. There were so many of your just like looks during that scene we had to pick from, because you had some great ones just looking back and forth like tennis match. And so but there's the ones that end up being in it is where the hat's just like sitting in this really like funny way on the top of your head, and it just looks so great, and I feel like it fits your character so perfectly. So I love the hat made it in.
Yeah.
How about you? Oh,
I don't know if I remember like exactly. There were some nice button ups, but I think that they really it was cool that they just really let us use like our own clothes and incorporated that. So I remember working with them very fondly. Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna find a picture of it.
okay.
I feel like you rocked that varsity jacket really
I
well
was
too.
gonna say the
Oh
jacket.
yeah.
That was
We-
pretty good.
Those jackets.
I like the jacket.
To make
Yeah.
those jackets, and those
This
are like.
now this is cheating though, because it's not like really in the film, but it is regarding the film,
Okay.
and it's this. That
Oh,
fits pretty cool with that hat.
Yes, it's the
I
hat.
just wanted to show that
Such a
picture.
great photo. There's that video of us all in the truck, and we like suddenly realize halfway through that Pearce is in the back of the truck, and we're like,
Oh yeah.
Going down a hill like this, and we're like, oh, Pearce is gonna fall out.
But I
Hey,
didn't.
you were the
But I
one
didn't.
driving that. That's on you.
You're
Okay.
just relaxing.
I'm actually wearing one of my dresses right now because it looks great on camera. I love this dress. Brie let me keep it, so I would say probably this one, or what? I wore some cool stuff. My theme was very much like red and black, and I actually got to keep a lot of this. Some of the stuff was already mine. I got to keep a lot of it that wasn't, because it was like just stuff that they'd thrifted for the movie. So I'd say this dress was great because it was an Urban Outfitters thrift. So I was like, wow, this is great. But yeah, I would say I loved the stuff that was mine, but what I loved was that it was my outfits that were already mine were being put together in a way I hadn't worn them before. And now I recreate those outfits and I will wear them myself. So for me, it was like finding new ways of wearing the clothes I already have, which I really liked.
That's cool. And would you all like to return for a sequel? And if there is a sequel, what would you like to see happen, or maybe explore the karma powers more?
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, come on, Isabella. Let's do it. Write a sequel. I'll be there.
I'm on it. I'm on it, you guys. I'm on it.
I can't wait for another twist.
I know. I
Is
can't.
Max
I can't
gonna
think
lose
of
his
anything
mind
else.
like again.
Yeah, Max is just off the hinges.
Yeah, Max might go through therapy. Maybe Max goes through some therapy. I feel like he needs some
Max and
healing.
Niles become like best friends.
Yes. Maybe there's a bromance.
There's a
future.
bromance there's a budding romance.
Mhm.
I'm happy with a love story. That's fine. You can just do that.
We're gonna look back on this call when
I
this
just
call
I
remember that.
want to kiss Matt Cornett.
He wants
I
to
said
slap and kiss
I
him.
said it. I said it.
you heard it.
Daniel,
But
that's
if-
not the first time he's told me this.
That's
It's
funny.
funny. It's really not.
I do
Look
have
it
to be
up.
having hysterics
That's
on this call.
hilarious,
I had this feeling. I'm definitely down. I mean, I set it up for a sequel because I love the idea that there is a possibility. For me, there's nothing more painful than watching a movie where you need a sequel to tie everything up. So I wanted to write one where this story was tied up and everything was good here, but you could totally go into prequels, sequels, wherever you needed to go with it. I built the world of Karma so there's more possibilities, but I didn't want to let anyone down watching it. So hopefully I didn't do that. But I set it up so that we can have the possibility of Jack returning as RJ and being this new version of himself, but in a different world surrounding the town. So there's a lot more room for it, and I tried to leave that as open as possible so there could be potentials for sequels. So maybe we start a campaign and get this made.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. I did like the end credit scene as well. And do you all believe in karma?
No, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe not in the
Yeah.
exact form of this.
Yeah.
but
That's what I was gonna
It's
say.
not-
No.
Max is being unhinged again.
100% real. That is exactly how it works. Okay.
It's me. It is in fact me. I am Karma. That is what this is. Surprise, you guys. That's actually the twist. It is me. I am
That would
Karma.
be crazy.
I am Karma embodied as a human being. That's
That would
crazy.
be like the craziest reveal ever. That'd be so crazy. Oh, I definitely believe in karma. I think what goes around comes around. I think there are so many things that happen in day-to-day life where you're like, "Ooh, this feels further than just normal repercussions. I also feel that about people who are really good and then really bad things happen to them. I'm like, oh, I also believe in past lives. So I'm like, something happened in your past life that maybe is coming back to you now, because I know a couple people that are really good that have gone through some really like one after the other things where you're just like, oh, this isn't normal. So I definitely believe in it.
And on this film, a person gets a spider in their drink. So I was wondering, have you ever had a bug in your drink in real life before? And if you see a bug next to you, do you save it or kill it?
Depends on the bug.
It depends on the bug. If it's a spider, I'm sorry, but it's time. It's time.
My uncle years ago was drinking. We were out at a picnic, and he was drinking a can of Coke, and there was a wasp that got inside the can of Coke. And he took a sip of it, and that wasp, that was pretty bad.
Oh,
Dang, that was pretty bad right there, man.
Oh no.
I feel like the worst I've had is like during the summer. Like I grew up in Arkansas, so during the summer, you go outside and there's all kinds of bugs flying around. But like if you're out on the lake and you're drinking anything really that doesn't have a closed lid, like a closed top, you're gonna get like some kind of like fly or gnat or something in your drink. So I've probably ingested my fair share of bugs.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's definitely been things that in drinks or on food or so. I mean, I don't really want to think about it on that front. That's disgusting. But from the level of there being a bug next to me, it depends on the bug. I actually will try and help spiders. Now, if it's crawling on me, I can't promise anything. But if like I have a very like symbiotic relationship with a couple of baby spiders that live in my room, because they live in the corner of my like between my ceiling and my walls, and they don't move. They just stay in that like crease back and forth, but they eat the bugs. So I'm like, you know what? As long as you stay up there and I stay down here, we'll be chill. And they've stayed there for a few months and they've been fine. So I don't mind having a symbiotic relationship as long as they are not invading my space. Because
if they're inside my home, I'm sorry. If it's outside, then I won't, obviously. But
no, see, it depends on the size of the spider. But they're teeny tiny money spiders, and they're just hanging out. So they don't pay rent, which is kind of annoying. But
Yeah, that's the biggest. That's what's bothering me.
Yeah, you don't even get the tax break of having
I don't even have dependents.
Can you claim them as dependents?
I can. I mean, I pay for the air conditioning. I pay for the heating.
See, here we go.
I find spiders scary.
Welcome to your first CPA class, everybody watching.
And what advice would you give people looking to act in TV or film?
I think overall, just embody and embrace like fully who you are. Because I know a lot of times I've spoken to a lot of actors who have kind of had a problem of finding themselves trying to be someone that they're not, to try and impress whoever it is that they're working for or with or whatever. And I've always been told by a lot of people that I worked with, and I've really realized it's just really important to be yourself and embrace who you are and show everybody the full version of you.
That's good advice. How about you?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like, aside from what Matt said, which I completely agree with, I think it's important to kind of build your world outside of just acting too, to be honest. I think it's good to focus like your energies and fulfillments on other things too, because acting is a hard journey, and there are tough times where you're waiting or whatever, getting rejected. So it's really good for, I think, for your mental health to like have other things you're interested in as well, and there should be no shame in that. Like it's okay if you love multiple things, but I think it will only help you stay in it longer if you're able to take care of your mental health in that way.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Or
Pearce, you want to jump in?
Clear your throat 4 times before speaking. That's Pearce.
That's right. I want to make sure. I mean, boy, it's just like anything. It's difficult, man. I mean, it is difficult. I mean, for an anecdotal story, like Matt and I actually used to live together, and so we would be the ones pretty much helping each other with auditions all the time, for quite a few months. And I don't think we booked any of them. I don't think we did.
For the 6 months that we lived together, we didn't book one of them.
Not a thing. And it's just really funny to think about that. Like, you know, but it's also nice to know that like you've got somebody who's very talented. And I'm sure Matt would say the same thing about me. And like they're, you know, everybody's going through the same thing. I mean, it is a hard business. It is hard. It's hard to find work. There's 1,000 no's before there's a maybe, you know, and then, you know, you're even luckier if you get a yes. And frankly, just echoing what everybody said, I mean, you have to be like your own best friend. Like you cannot get down on yourself. You know, maybe a minute is okay, but I mean, you know, it frankly, here's like a piece of like, if you're just starting, it's most of the time it's actually not you per se. Like, it's not like, oh my God, that acting was so terrible, we can't hire this person. It's they're half an inch too tall. Nope.
Yeah.
2 shades of brown too light. Not for you, you know. Whatever, you know, oh, their eyes or whatever, you know. It's usually not you.
No, it really is. It's genuinely that. And as a producer, I can tell you that often is exactly what it comes down to. It's who looks the most correct for the part, especially if there's parents or siblings involved. I mean, you can have 2 of the best actors in front of you, but if one of them looks slightly more like the family than the other, then that's the person that ends up being. So yeah, I definitely agree with Pearce. And then I would say, like, to kind of tie that all together, and I have said this before, but it's really just to keep going. Once you know you love it and you want to do it, keep going, because there are so many no's before you get a maybe. And I think if you have the mindset of it's not necessarily just about booking an audition, it's about the process of auditioning is also part of acting. I think the mentality behind what you're doing can be so much stronger and more positive. I think there's the misconception that the auditioning is just kind of a means to an end, but really that's how we work our muscles when we're not in acting class and when we're not working on set. So I think if the mentality is to keep going and enjoy the auditioning process, even though it is on self-tapes at the moment, that's part of it too. So I think keep going and embrace all of it, because it's all part of the journey to get to being on set.
That's really good advice. And my final question before I go is, can you share any upcoming projects you are working on?
I'll let you go first. I know you have lots of fun stuff going on. I mean, there's things that will just come out for, I think Terry, you just had a project come out. Pearce, I know you've got one that just got announced. I don't know what you're doing, Matt. You're never on social media.
I know, it's a problem. Hey, I like to be a mystery man. Pearce, go ahead. If you want to talk about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I honestly don't know who you're speaking to, but I'll just go for it. Well, what's really cool, I can't say that. Wow, I was about to say some stuff that I couldn't say. Oh boy, and I was about to say it so confidently.
Can you tease
well, yeah. I mean, for now, me and Terry have a really cool animated series coming out. The first season of it is coming out on June 28th. Very exciting. It looks awesome. And then other than that, I have a movie that, well, we've wrapped main unit on it, and we have to go back and we have about 2 or 3 more weeks of finishing it up soon. They're in the they're kind of editing some stuff right now, but it's called Under the Lights. I did like a proof of concept many years ago, and now it's kind of really snowballed into something really special. So we've got myself, Lake Bell, and Randall Park, and Nick Offerman, Mark Duplass are in it, and it's shaping up to be a really incredible movie. It's definitely some of the best work I've ever done, and something that I've been super involved with for the last 6 years trying to get it made. That's really all I can talk about right now. Can't talk about any script details or anything like that, but there is more to come. We just have to finish it first.
Congratulations on that.
Yeah, just to echo off that, Zombies Reanimated is coming out. Very excited for that. So cool. And yeah, I'm happy to say one of the movies I was a part of, which just came out. It's on Hulu. It's called Prom Dates, with Julia Lester as one of the leads, actually, who everyone knows here and loves. And she did an incredible job. And I was on a show on Max called The Girls on the Bus that just had its final episode, maybe like a couple weeks ago. So those are just fresh off the press. Is that what they call it? And then, yeah. And going forward, just excited to attach to like this indie, but you know how it is, pre-production hell is real, as Pearce, I'm sure, and everyone here knows. So it's excited for what's coming forward.
Yeah. I also have been working on a film that I can't say too much about because we're not done with it yet either. But it's been a lot of fun, and I have quite literally no details on when it's coming out, what it's coming out on. I have zero clue. Luckily, that's not my job to figure out. But it's super fun, and I'm excited. I'm excited for people to see it, and I had a ton of fun working on it. It's just kind of in the post-production stages now, so doing all the ADR and all the coloring and you know, all that fun jazz. So yeah, I can't say too much about it, but that's going to be a fun one.
Woohoo! The life of being an actress, like there is stuff I just can't tell anyone about it.
Yeah.
But I swear it's real. No, I've got a couple of projects that I'm filming this year. I'm also producing, so that's going well as always. I mean, there's always working hard, it never stops. But yeah, one of them, they're both thriller-ish, I guess. One of them is a slightly smaller role, and the other one I'm the lead in. So those are this year. Hopefully one over the summer and one in the fall is the plan right now. And then I just had Karma come out with these beautiful humans. So that's on Zumo for those watching and listening and reading. Yeah, that's me so far.
Well, I'm excited to see all your projects. They all sound great. And congratulations on Karma. I really enjoyed it. And I hope you all have a good day. Thanks for doing this interview with me.
Thank you so much.
Daniel.
Yay,
Have a
Seth.
good day.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
What brings you to Latigo Springs?
My mom grew up here. Hey, Dad.
Oh, hi, honey. How was the trip?
Exhilarating.
You got a visitor inside.
You know, I've only seen baby pictures of you. You look just like your mom.
I know this hasn't been easy, but you're gonna make friends, I promise.
You know. Are you even listening to me? Get it together!
I am so sorry.
I'm sorry.
What brings you to Latigo Springs, Charlie?
If there's anything I can do, I'm here for you.
Thank you.
Did they ever catch the person who did it?
No.
Did my mom ever mention anything to you about a girl that got murdered?
These are some old photos.
I think you're special, Charlie.
Special how?
It's a gut feeling. My gut is always right. Well, don't beat yourself up for not being there all those years. Maya left on rocky terms.
Some people just can't stay in a small town, I guess.
I like your tattoo.
Thanks. My mom and I have matching ones. It's a symbol for karma. Did my mom ever mention anything to you about having weird dreams? I don't want to know about Chloe's friendship. I want to know about her death.
Charlie, why the urge to learn so much about Chloe?
We need to talk.
So you do this every time. You can't trust anybody in this town.